Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to TechGig webinar series, our endeavor to impart techies. We believe that sharing of knowledge is the key to enhance our skills and grow as professionals. With this principle in mind, we have initiated a series of webinars conducted by industry experts to give you all a crisp insight of various domains. The topic of today's session is Accelerate Mobile Application Development Across Multiple Platforms. Our guest speaker today is Mr. Raghu Srinivasamurthy, Brand Architect, IBM Rational. Raghu currently works as an IBM Rational Brand Architect with a focus on technical pre-sales. He carries 12 years of IT experience. He works with customers to integrate best practices, processes, automation tools, and provide mentoring services. He speaks regularly at international conferences, seminars, and user groups sponsored by IBM. Raghu is an IBM Rational Certified Professional. He also holds an MBA in Marketing from Symbiosis University, Pune. So without further delay, I introduce you all to our guest speaker. Over to you, Raghu.
Thanks, Mohini. Thanks for that introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today for this Accelerate Mobile Application Development Across Mobile Platforms webinar. Just one second, I'm going to share my screen now. Okay, I guess that everybody is able to see my presentation deck. I'm at the slide number 1. So the topic is, as Mohini introduced, where we're going to talk about how do we accelerate the mobile application development across different platforms that are available. And I will talk about what is the solution that IBM is offering, what are the challenges that we are facing in terms of mobile application development for different kind of platforms. The agenda for today, I'm in slide number 2, everyone. The agenda is what are the challenges, the typical challenges that's faced by organizations in terms of developing mobile applications, and what's the platform that IBM is offering in terms of mobile development lifecycle solution. So that's the agenda, the brief agenda that we have. As you're aware, the duration of this particular webinar is going to be 1 hour. We're going to have 10 minutes for question and answers at the end of the presentation. So let's try to understand. There are 2 factors. I'm getting into the slide number 3, everyone. There are 2 factors which are driving this mobile application development scenario. The question we need to ask us is, why do we need to accelerate this mobile application development? What are the factors that are driving this, accelerating mobile application development? There are 2 factors which are driving this. One is the market forces, the competitors. The second one is the consumers or the users. These are the 2 major factors which is driving organizations and software development teams to accelerate their mobile application development and delivery. If you see the slide number 3, it shows the kind of opportunity that we have in terms of this mobile computing field. I don't know whether you have seen this news where Instagram, which got started only 2 years back, hit 100 million users. Imagine just 2 years span of time. And Government of Karnataka is initiating this mobile governance initiatives across different departments, different territories, different regions in Karnataka. Whether it's a public sector bank, government organizations across the world, they've started working on this mobile initiatives. So one is there exists a huge opportunity in terms of this particular space, and there are 2 major factors driving this mobile application development delivery model where you need to accelerate this. But is it so easy to make sure that, okay, you deliver the mobile applications in a faster pace? There exist challenges. What are those challenges? Let's try to understand. Moving to slide number 4. Now, we all agree that, okay, all of us who are participating in this discussion, that the focus is shifting towards mobile computing. mobile/cloud computing, you can say that. That's the hybrid computing which is happening from traditional now web computing in the internet world. But to make sure that we leverage those opportunities that are available for us, it's becoming more and more challenging in terms of mobile application development scenario. One is the transformation business models. What do you mean by transformation business models? This mobile banking, mobile money, Airtel money, NFC communications, near field communicator communications. So there's a huge transformational business models that are happening. That gives you a great challenge in terms of mobile application development and delivery model. The second one is in terms of the delivery by itself, the faster life cycles, faster iterations, once in or 2 times in a week kind of updates that's happening in the mobile world. So apart from this, adding to these kind of challenges, these are, there are some technology challenges. We talked about mobile forces as being one of the challenge. What are those technology challenges in terms of mobile application delivery? The technology challenge, it's been, if it was an internet world, we know that, okay, it's probably 2 or 3 dominant browsers that I need to support at the client side, correct? But if you look at it from a technology perspective, the business perspective is always the market forces, competitors, and the consumers and the users. That's from a business perspective. From a technology perspective, in terms of the challenges that we face today, is all this plethora of operating systems that comes in. Okay, now you know that, okay, Firefox browser, Mozilla Foundation, they just came up with their own operating system, Firefox operating system in Europe. Now, you need to make sure, apart from the operating system or the platforms, you have multiple form factors, multiple devices, multiple vendors, multiple designs, pixel size. So that's a complex scenario that's a nightmare for any mobile application developer. And the second thing is these mobile applications, if the user experience is not so good, people will shift to another mobile application, correct? In a consumer world, not in the enterprise world, probably. Enterprise world, you will be forced to use that mobile application that's being developed by your organization. Now, the high quality apps, you need to make sure that when you develop those high quality applications, not only it engages the users in terms of the user experience, it also meets the business objectives. How do we do that? These are the technology challenges. And then the third one is integrating with the enterprise systems. Mobile, we can't start all over again, correct? All the enterprise systems, the legacy applications, the banking, the insurance applications we have. Probably we can give another front end or another user interface, an entry point in terms of application software processing, transaction processing. So at the end of the day, majority of your applications or the databases or the enterprise applications, your SAP world, ERM, CRP world, mainframe world, how do we make sure that, okay, these mobile apps integrate with your enterprise systems? That's another technology challenge. And definitely the fourth one, what we are listing out here is, how do we improve the time to market? How do I make sure that, okay, I deliver these mobile applications faster iterations, faster deliveries in a shorter duration compared to my competitors? How do we do that? So we have opportunities, the business challenges, organization challenges, and the technology challenges. So that's where, moving on to slide number 6, everyone. IBM came up with what we call as a mobile first foundation, where we are offering solutions, end-to-end solutions in terms of the mobile space. Broadly, our portfolio is divided into these 3 spaces: modernization from legacy transformation, extending the legacy features; mobile application build and connecting; mobile application development; and the third one is management security. It's predominantly in terms of mobile application security and the device security. But today we'll focus on the mobile application development, apps development. How do we do that for the multiple platforms? how do we make sure that, okay, we improve the time to market scenario, accelerate the application development? So that's the topic, that's what we're going to focus today. Going to slide number 7, everyone. In the build and connect, what are the things that we're going to talk about today? How do we, by using IBM platform or IBM solution, how do we develop these hybrid applications for multiple platforms? iOS, BB, BlackBerry, Windows 8, it could be native applications, web or hybrid applications. How can we achieve this software development lifecycle, collaborative lifecycle management while developing and delivering the software? And naturally, how do we get connected to our enterprise data? So let's try to understand these challenges one by one. So what we did is we understood the opportunities that are available for the organizations and for the businesses, and we understood what are the factors that are driving this faster mobile application delivery from a business angle, and from we also understood that what are the challenges that exist in terms of accelerating the mobile application delivery. It's not going to be so easy because it's a very complex world, complex scenarios. Let's try to understand one by one these challenges and discuss about these challenges, and see that, okay, how do we overcome these challenges by using IBM set of portfolio. That's what we're going to discuss for next 15 to 20 minutes, everyone. The first challenge is what we said: you want to accelerate your mobile application delivery across the platforms. You want to make sure that improve the time to market. How do we do that? If you compare our desktop application, starting from your VB and other applications, desktop applications, and then move to web applications, and then now the agile world, correct? The mobile applications. Mobile is pushing the businesses, the nations, the users. It's pushing the boundaries, and there's a huge paradigm shift that's happening in terms of mobile development and the consumption. If you remember your good old days, the JSP development, Java J2 development, or any packaged application development also, or consulting for that matter, the delivery used to be in months and years. Now those days are gone. Any applications, whether it's a consumer applications or the enterprise applications, you have new features that's getting enabled, Google Glass coming up, new technologies, new devices, integration, hybrid applications, and time to market has come down from months to weeks, and the frequency of updates has come down from months to once in a week or 2 times in a week in terms of the updates or the upgrades that's been happening. So how do we do this? What's been happening was in a traditional world, when we were doing this iterative approach, now we are following this agile methodology for this software development, for these continuous integration, continuous testing, continuous planning, DevOps, development operations. There are so many jargons that's been coined to improve the delivery of these software in both Java internet world and the mobile applications world. But what we missed in terms of the mobile application development is it's not going to be just you open up an IDE, start writing a Java code in terms of Android or Objective-C code in terms of iOS. Traditionally what we've been doing, we need to make sure that we have a methodology or a process and complete software engineering lifecycle or application lifecycle management platform to develop and deliver these mobile applications faster. Okay, and that's what I have seen, and we have seen as an IBM as an organization in most of the mobile application development places. We understand that, okay, this is very agile in nature, but what we've been suggesting and been discussing with many of our clients is the best thing is having this process in place, process driving your mobile application development, automation and the platform driving your mobile application development, in turn will help you in terms of accelerating this mobile application developer. So it's not just a coding. That's one of the takeaway from this particular today's webinar. It's mobile application development. It's not just coding. Open up the IDE and just code and do the unit testing and build the solution. You have great user experience has to be built. Great requirements has to be captured. You have to manage the defects, correct, which are coming. Major releases, build automation, versionizing them, test automation, functionality testing. How do we do that? Device testing, probably using device anyway, other kind of solutions. So it's a team game, and it's a complete platform. That's what we're looking at. And let me introduce French IBM Mobile Development Lifecycle solution. See, what we've been doing is, again, it's a transformational software development platform. It's a completely web-based solution built using Web 2.0 technology. It's a Facebook way of developing and delivering mobile application software. It acts as a one-stop shop of the software. It has got requirements definition and management, test asset management. It has got test automation solutions, project planning, agile project planning, build and release management for multiple platforms for Android and iOS, build definition management, and naturally, as part of this solution, we do have mobile application development solution called as a Worklight. All these capabilities come together as a web-based solution and provides you collaborative platform. What do I mean by collaborative platform? It's something like a Facebook way of development and delivering the software. Imagine you're part of the Facebook community, social networking community, or a LinkedIn community. Any updates, you are notified. Any photos, you can comment. The same way, any new requirements, any new defects flowing into your platform, irrespective of the geolocation, build getting failed, you can do a collaborative debugging, collaborative build management, chatting, video communication. All those communications gets archived as part of your project delivery model. Lifecycle traceability and impact analysis, and naturally developing the software. We'll get into all these things one by one. So what I'm trying to emphasize, what we are trying to discuss today is mobile application development. You want to accelerate the delivering process, make sure you have the platform in place. Okay, that's again next generation platform. Make sure automation in place and process driving the factor rather than doing everything in an ad hoc basis. Okay, what are the features that influences in terms of improving the time to market? Lifecycle traceability and impact analysis. You capture the requirements. You can link your design factors, your wireframes to a particular given requirement. It could be business requirement, or it could be agile user story for that matter. If you're following Scrum practices, it could be a user story. You can link your test cases, change sets, code base, and the build. Any change in the requirement that happens, immediately all your assets, all your stakeholders gets notified saying that, okay, hey, there is a change in the requirement. It's going to have an impact on these set of test cases, these set of source code, because all these are based on a particular requirement. So having these kind of features, and which is a completely web-based, so, it doesn't matter whether you're working from home, you are traveling, you are on-site, all those things. So you'll be able to manage the changes to the given requirement, because requirements being volatile, it becomes very crucial for organizations and the teams to manage those changes to the requirements. So naturally, because of these kind of automation in place, having the process driving your mobile application delivery reduces the cost and improves the quality, and make sure that brings all the stakeholders onto the same page. See, one thing, unique factor which we are looking at, this particular platform is targeted towards agile practices and agile teams, specifically in the mobile world I'm talking about. And what it does is it brings huge transparency into the system. I know in the mobile world you can you can tell that, okay, you can say that, okay, hey, in mobile world, it's smaller iterations and we have 15 to 20 people. It doesn't matter. As long as you have the platform and the process driving most of your tasks, and automation is part of the game. Naturally, it cut down the time, reduces the cost, improves the quality, and in turn help you in terms of deliver the software, have the faster deliverables, which we call as a continuous delivery kind of phenomenon. So now, other aspects, you can see that, okay, in the screenshots, I have a couple of, because interest of the time, and since I had the limited time factor, you can see a couple of screenshots here. I'm in slide number 13, everyone, where you can see that, okay, it's a completely web-based. You can just open up the Firefox browser or Internet Explorer. You can see that your user stories tested by so-and-so test case, and there's a defect associated with that. So you can build this kind of relationship within your software delivery as such. So moving to slide number 14, everyone. So this solution, as I said, this is acts as a one-stop solution for your mobile application development and delivery. It also has got a project planning, agile planning, where you can define what are the user stories. You can define the product backlog, sprint backlog, release planning. You can do release backlog, and what are the user stories? You can assign the user stories. There is a workflow built into the solution. You can assign it to Alex. You can assign it to John. And one differentiating factor in this solution is your project planning is tied to the execution. What do you mean by that? The execution and the project planning. Traditionally, what happens here? You will be using a project management solution, but the execution is happening probably manual process or some other products that you might be using. But whatever you do, new defects coming into your platform, your environment, your infrastructure, you're completing the user stories and the tasks, but that doesn't get reflected to the project plan or the project management that you're using, because they are working in silos. You're using a project management solution, probably Excel sheet. Any change happens, new defects getting raised against a requirement, you are completing new user stories, it automatically fills up the sprint backlog, saying that, okay, hey, this team working on this has already completed 80% of the work for this given sprint 2. Okay, are there any blockers in terms of the bugs, in terms of the defects? Okay, so immediately it gets reflected. Are there any build failures? Well, what's stopping? What's the impediment in terms of these major releases? So now it provides different kind of dashboard for the stakeholders. Even your clients can be part of this solution. What we are trying to achieve with this kind of mobile application development and delivery model is, we are trying to bring huge transparency into the system. Okay, that's been missing in terms of the mobile application development and delivery model. Who is doing what, when and where and why? Okay, how many requirements got submitted? All the stakeholders, the business stakeholder, operations team, development team, client team, they're all sharing, they're coming to the platform and sharing the same vision, same culture in terms of the software development and delivery. So that's been the major differentiating factors and the value proposition, what we are looking at. And moving to slide number 15, everyone. And see, these kind of solutions, whatever we are discussing today, these are all very few features that we are discussing today, capabilities of this particular platform. It has got a review process built into the solution. It makes sure that you capture right set of requirements, right set of test cases, the right set of code goes into the your delivery process, your build process. You can have reviewers and approvers. This makes sure that, okay, everybody's on agreed terms, and it prevents the rework. Naturally, it accelerates your mobile application development, okay, and improves the time to market. So that's one of the challenge, how this solution addresses those kind of challenges. The second one is what we're looking at is, you want to make sure that, see, at the end of the day, just having functionality mobile applications is not enough. You need to make sure that you're delivering a great user experience to the consumer, the end client, the user, and you're developing a quality applications which engages the users and also meets the business objectives, business goals. So that's another challenge the organizations and the teams, mobility practice teams face. So how do we address these kind of challenges? One is, what we are trying to do is, as part of this solution itself, you can have the wireframes. Once you capture the requirements, the user stories, you can create the wireframes as part of this solution. And again, it's a completely web-based solution. Attach those wireframes, link those wireframes into the requirements. And naturally, any change in the requirement, immediately tool identifies that, okay, hey, there's a change in the requirement. So impact analysis can be seen. That's one of the capability. So, and having just wireframes is not enough. It goes through its own workflow, the review workflow. There's the review process built into the solution. All stakeholders, irrespective of the geolocation, clients and your senior team can be the reviewer and approver. This makes sure that you are capturing so-called good design and good requirements early in the life cycle, in the spirit of the agile work. Moving to slide number 19, as I said, the reviews make sure that, so I'm at slide number 19. I guess it's still displaying. Okay. Okay. So I hope that, okay, everybody is able to see the slide number 19. So the review process across the capabilities, what we have, project plans, the different kind of assets, it makes sure that the agreement is there, and it prevents the rework, because everybody participated and there was a reviewer and there was an approval, and you can make sure that, okay, you're able to capture so-called good requirements early in the life cycle. So these are the kind of capabilities helps you to make sure that, okay, you are delivering quality applications to your end client. Okay, when we're talking about quality, how can we forget the testing aspect, correct? So testing, it's not a very straightforward in the mobile world. If it was a desktop applications, I know that, okay, these are the objects. If it's a web, I know that, okay, these are the browsers. But if you look at the testing challenges, last 6 years in the internet world, in the web applications world, look at the challenges of what we had, web application testing. Last 6 years, we had Internet Explorer, now version 9. I'm not so sure whether we have 10. And we had Firefox browser. Yesterday, I got Firefox browser version 24, 23 point something. It was updating, automatic update. And now we have Chrome, which is moving up in the ladder. So this has been the challenge for us in last 6 years, correct? But look at the, okay, I'm moving to slide number 21. I guess it's still displaying now, audience view. Yes. Okay, now if you look at the mobile world, last 1 year, look at the challenges that we are having. Okay, there is animation in this. You have, and Android comes with the different names, ice cream sandwich, the different kind of names they give, unique names, and now BlackBerry, Firefox, everybody getting into the bandwagon of this huge opportunity that is available. So that's a challenge. In last 1 year, this happened. Okay, and it keeps on coming to your delivery challenges. So now, how do we address this? As part of this solution, we have something called as a mobile application testing. This is something different from what you do device-specific testing. This is what we call as a functionality or regression testing. As of now, we are supporting Android and iOS box, which captures your behavior, records your interactions with mobile applications, and captures them and plays back those recordings in terms of the regression testing. So, and you can come up with the test cases, test planning. So it's a completely web-based solutions what we have, test asset management. And the mobile, the recording and the playback, it can be done either through our solution by the tool itself, or through an emulator, or you can do through the device itself. So there is a small connector that gets installed on the device. Through device itself, you can record the mobile application and play back it. So these are some of the capabilities what we have as part of this, a single mobile application development solution. the requirements management, agile planning, review process, wireframe sketching, test asset management, quality management, and test automation in terms of functionality and regression testing. It helps teams and organizations and ensures that you are delivering qualitative applications and also engaging the users and meeting business goals. So that's in terms of the technology challenge and how the solution addresses those challenges. And moving to slide number 22nd. Okay, so there's still the animation, the tablets, phablets. Now phablets are coming out. So right now I'm at slide number 22, everyone. Okay, slide number 22, challenge 3, developing for multiple mobile platforms. So at the end of the day, whatever we are discussing in previous slides, it was all about the process automation and the platform driving your software, or platform driving accelerated mobile application delivery. But at the end of the day, the core is this mobile application development, where you have to have this UI controls, interfaces, screens, and talk to the backend databases, display some information, native application development. Now, again, in core mobile application development itself, there are challenges due to multiple platforms. So now, how do we address this challenge? Developing mobile applications. This is core development which we are talking about now. As part of this solution, we have a capability called as IBM Worklight. This helps teams and organizations to develop mobile applications for multiple platforms. And you can, using this particular capability, you can develop either web applications or native applications or hybrid applications. You don't have to create 3-4 different kind of projects. And look at this, underneath it makes use of the phone gap. Now we call it as Apache, the Cordova APIs. And it also supports, by default, it comes with the Dojo toolkit. In terms of UI development, user interface development, UI controls, you can make use of any of the industry standard UI framework. jQuery Mobile, Sencha Touch, Dojo Mobile, HTML5. So you can make use of any of these UI controls. You can leverage this and develop, it could be web applications, native applications, or the hybrid applications. Underneath it makes use of the PhoneGap framework, the Cordova APIs, and it helps you to develop these kind of applications, mobile, hybrid, or native, through using JavaScript, CSS3, and HTML5 technology. Now, moving to slide number 24. And if you are a mobile practitioner and mobile application developer, you know that the typical challenge in mobile application development is having different code development, or you need to develop or write the code for the different kind of platforms, because at least minimum 2 players are dominating the market. You have Android, probably 60 to 65% market share, I'm not so sure, 50-55%, and you have iOS, and somewhere here and there Windows and the BlackBerry. Now, the nightmare for the mobile application developer is to write a code and deploy it on all these boxes for all these platforms. Now, IBM Worklight, there are, apart from this major UI control or UI framework, leveraging UI control framework and leveraging PhoneGap framework, it also provides many of the other functionalities or capabilities. You can create different kind of environment, platform-specific environment, and a common code, especially the UI controls or the front-end part, which is a common across different kind of platforms, since you are delivering through Sencha, if you're using a UI controller framework, or HTML5. Some of them would be the common across the multiple platforms that can be reused, and the same code base will get copied into the different kind of environments. IBM Worklight solution automatically creates different kind of environments. We call the word that they use is environment specific optimization. So you right click on one of the projects created and say create new project for the iPhone or the iPad. You can create as many environments, and you can reuse your existing code which you have written for Android, the front end part. But if you want to make use of PhoneGap or Codaway APIs, the JavaScript APIs, and reuse it across, that can also works good in terms of hybrid applications. Even you can use PhoneGap or Codaway APIs to access some of the native controls. But if you want to use directly the native development or use the native SDK, Android or iOS SDK for the native development, still you can do that. You can leverage Android SDK as part of the Worklight, and you can leverage your iOS SDK as part of your Xcode and develop the native applications. So because it gets integrated with many of the SDKs. And the testing solutions which I discussed, which we talked about, also gets integrated with this Worklight. So it has got Worklight Studio and the Worklight server. This is one of the major components as part of this particular solution. So this way it helps organizations and teams to write once and create device or platform specific environments. It also, there are many features that Worklight offers. Since we have limited time, probably we'll discuss it probably in some other session. So as I said, IBM Worklight integrates with your native SDKs within the Worklight Eclipse IDE. As I said, the Worklight is built on Eclipse framework and Eclipse IDE. There will not be much learning curve for the practitioners because Eclipse has become a de facto standard now in terms of the IDE for in the Java world specifically. So you can download Android SDKs into the Worklight, gets integrated with SDK, and if you are installed Worklight in the Mac box, it gets integrated with your Xcode because there is a limitation in terms of Xcode being in the Mac OS itself. So, so that's in terms of the core mobile application development. As I said, it supports industry standard JavaScript framework, UI frameworks. It leverages underneath Eclipse framework and the PhoneGap for native access. It makes use of this Codaway API controls to develop these hybrid applications and even access the native controls. But if you're a good fan of native development itself, you can leverage the native development of Android and iOS because it gets integrated with the SDKs. And as we discussed, it provides a lot of other features of this particular Worklight. So the last challenge, okay, so I think you can see that, okay, it's not so easy in terms of the real world scenario, especially at the enterprise level. Other challenge is when all these banking organizations, insurance, okay, electronic equipment manufacturers, all these organizations, they got these heritage solutions, large enterprise solutions deployed. You got ERP, CRM solutions, mainframe solutions, accounting software, packaged applications. Now they got cloud applications, software as a service. Now, whatever the applications that you develop, mobile applications, you can't start all over as we discussed. Have the backend database, separate database, middleware, business code. It's very difficult to do that. At the end of the day, your front-end mobile application should talk to the enterprise softwares and get the data and display the data as part of this mobile application within that 4-inch and 5-inch display screen, whatever you get out of it. Now, again, this you can do that. IBM Worklight, there are two ways to do that within this solution. IBM Worklight provides adapters, like it provides you HTTP adapters, JMS adapters, Cas10 adapters, and the web services adapters, the SQL adapters to talk to the different databases. So the adapters helps you in terms of talking to these kind of backend enterprise systems, backend enterprise data, but some of the organizations feel that, okay, hey, you're talking about accelerating mobile application delivery for multiple platforms, and you're asking us to write the business logic using the adapters. If it doesn't sound good, then we have something called as a cast iron software, the capability as part of this overall portfolio. What it does is the cast iron, you can see here, I'm at slide number 28. I guess it's still displaying for most of the audience. Okay, I think 90% completed. Yeah, so this particular cast iron capability, what we have, what it does is it's plug and play. You don't have to write single line of code. What it does is it takes care of the handshake between your mobile apps and the enterprise world, the application enterprise data. It could be, you can see that, okay, it could be your ERP, CRM, or it could be cloud applications like Salesforce or any of that enterprise data. It takes care of the handshaking, data interchange, and make sure that, okay, the data gets delivered to the mobile apps. It could be, yeah, so that's in terms of cast iron capability, which helps you to integrate with your large enterprise data and even the cloud applications also. So I'm almost at the end of the presentation, everyone. Now, in a nutshell, if I summarize, the topic we've been discussing, friends, is how do we accelerate mobile applications delivery across the platforms for multiple platforms. And there are two different kind of challenges. You have business challenges to achieve this, accelerating mobile application delivery, and the technology challenges. So technology challenges we talked about, transformation business models, faster iterations, correct? Developing the mobile applications for multiple platforms, different mobile platforms. How do we engage users, that user experience? How do I give that one single user experience? Improving the time to market, integrating with the enterprise data. So these are the different kind of challenges that we discussed today. And we also discussed about IBM Mobile Development Lifecycle solution, which is a Facebook way of developing and delivering mobile application software for software organizations and software development teams. Comes with agile templates targeting towards agile teams and agile practices. It acts as a one-stop shop, provides you requirements definition management, configuration management. It also takes care of the project planning, build management, test automation, and even the mobile application development also. So that's what which we wanted to discuss today, everyone. I'm almost done with the presentation today, and now we'll get into the Q&A mood. If there are any questions, feel free to ask the questions now. Mohini? Mohini, are you there? Okay. So now, okay, everyone, I can see lots of questions, many questions, coming to me, fired at me. Okay, Nikhil Kedkar, okay, he said that, okay, are you going to talk about Worklight? Yes, I did talk about Worklight. Nikhil Kedkar asked the person, there was a question, he said, okay, are you going to talk about Worklight? Yes, we did talk about the Worklight. And let me go through the questions because I need to read through these questions. Okay, Preetham Jadekar, one of the participants is asking this question, which is best in future perspective, native or hybrid? Okay, this what Preetham. Preetham, I'll tell you, see, IBM and other vendors did a market study. In next 2 years, 74% of mobile application development and delivery teams are going to embrace hybrid application development. You can imagine, which is a huge shift. Because the challenge is in this mobile application world is getting that so-called good native programmers, native developers, having great native language development experience, Objective-C, Java, because you have many platforms. So what they do, the challenge is you have to deliver faster because mobile market forces are forcing you to deliver the software, and there is a crunch in terms of the skills. So the organizations and the market is shifting towards hybrid kind of applications, where you get the best of both the worlds. You will have the web plus the native. That's where it's moving towards. And Manju, another participant is asking a question. Is Worklight a product of IBM? The answer is yes. Can it be used on Windows, or is it only specific to Mac? Manju, it's not specific to Windows. You can use it on Mac also. So you can install this particular solution on Windows box or the Mac. So it supports both the platforms. See, one of the differentiating factor is this solution, what we talked about, you can install it on Windows, you can install it on Mac, you can install it on AX, Ubuntu, Red Hat Linux. So we support Sun Solaris, Red Hat Linux, even ZOS box, mainframe ZOS box. You can install it on those boxes also. So just bear with me. Let me go through one question after the other because I just need to read through this. Okay, Nitin Tyagi is asking, Mr. Nitin is one of the participants. How long do you see mobile application development growth in market? The question was not clear. My friend Nitin, this is the way forward. This is the future. There's going to be huge potential individually, people like me and you, where we can leverage the opportunities that are available for us. So this is the future computing. Okay, welcome to the mobile one. Pratap Kora, one of the participants, Mr. Pratap, the question is there any free trial available for 2C platform? Pratap, yes. I have shared, if you go to TechGig, I've shared my mail ID, you can reach. If you go to IBM Rational website, okay, and these solutions are available for free download for evaluation period of 30 days. So anybody can just go to the IBM Rational website or IBM website, just download the software. Yes, it's available for evaluation period, for evaluation purpose. Okay, so there were many questions around the trial version of Worklight. You just go to IBM website and you should be able to download the software. Okay, and Ravi Kumar is asking, Mr. Ravi Kumar is asking this question. Do we need to install the Worklight to communicate? I'm sorry. So do we need to install the Worklight to communicate with IBM mobile development platform? The answer is yes. See, Worklight is one of the capability or one of the component of the entire portfolio or this particular solution. The entire solution is web-based. Only the Worklight is going to be the desktop-based. The reason being is you're going to write the code, you're going to build the solution, and you're going to versionize it. So since it becomes a heavyweight kind of thing, it's not yet web-based, but all other aspects like project planning, defect management, requirements management, wireframe definition, test asset management, they're all completely web-based. You just open up the browser, start doing all those activities. Mr. Ravi Kumar, you're right, the Worklight is desktop-based. Okay, Abhiteja is asking one of the questions from Abhiteja is how cast iron will do the handshaking. Abhiteja, so since we have a limited time, probably we can take it offline. The cast iron is one of the solution from us, which it's like a drag and drop option. You have to set some parameters, some input data, how data is flowing. So you have to set some kind of conditions. All those things has to be done using cast iron software. I know that this answer was very brief, and it's not going to answer your question completely, but we request you to attend our future sessions or get in touch with IBM people. We'll help you out in terms of understanding what cast iron can do. Okay, Venugopal is asking one more question. Any workshops conducted from IBM in terms of Worklight development? So there are many online workshops that are available. If you just go to the, just Google it out, IBM Worklight. There are a lot of lab workbooks and lab exercises that are available. But if you want to attend a training or enablement or workshop from IBM, that's also welcome. We do that. So you can talk to any of our IBM representatives. But a lot of workshops are now freely available, and even some of our enablements are available in YouTube also. So you just need to put right word in Google search engine. Arun is asking, Arun question is this tool an open source, which we can have a try and see? Arun, this is not an open source solution. This is a solution from IBM. It's a commercial solution, but it's available for trying and for evaluation purpose. Arun is asking, you're talking about development and QA automation. There's a question from Arun Mariappan. You have been talking about development and QA automation. Is it a single tool which has the package of all? This is a solution, Arun. It's a single installable. When you go and say install.exe, it's a single installable which gets installed on the server. But it has got all these components as part of the solution. But in a way you can say that, okay, this is a single product. In a way you can say that. Okay, Felix, Mr. Felix is asking this question. Felix saying that, okay, hey, how your hybrid framework impacts the performance when it compares to native application? Felix, my friend, you're right when you say that, okay, native, at the end of the day, native is native, correct? It's directly talking to all the devices and the sensors, and nobody can beat that. But if you go through the research and if you go through some of the statistics, the performance analysis between hybrid and the native application, the difference is not much. I know in the mobile world it counts, but it's very negligible. If you're going to make use of PhoneGap JavaScript APIs to talk to the native devices, many of them are doing, and the statistics and the data shows that, okay, hybrid is the way forward, and it's negligible. Yeah, so that's what we can say that on that. Can you people are asking, can you share some more information on the Worklight? Probably we'll try to arrange a separate Worklight session itself. Please reach us. You can reach me also. I'm in TechGig. My profile is there in TechGig. My contacts are there. I guess this particular presentation is recorded and it's available for the users. At the end of the session, I'm going to share my mail ID and contact number. You can reach us for any kind of information. What is the latest version of a Worklight we can download? So the latest is Rashmi Gupta. Okay, she has left the meeting room, but the latest version is 6. Okay, there is a question, Bipul Chandra. Can we do iOS development with the tool on Windows? Bipul, the answer is yes, but in a partly. What you can do is, if you are going to make use of the code over APIs, the framework at the end of the day, you can use Worklight itself to make sure that, okay, you can do the iOS development. But the compilation and the build, it's going to happen on Mac Xcode because it's not available on Windows, correct? So using Worklight, what you can do, you can build the front-end part common across Android and for iOS and for BlackBerry using Dojo Toolkit or Dojo Mobile or Sencha Touch. So that's a common. You're going to reuse it across multiple platforms, correct? And you can use the PhoneGap APIs also to talk to different kind of device native APIs, native controls. But the compilation and all, then you have to go to the build. You have to go to the Xcode for the compilation and the build, and it's supported only in the Mac. So partly you can do it on Windows box, but when it comes to the compilation and building, you have to rely on the Xcode because you're forced to do that. Okay, Vinay is asking, hey, what are the pros and cons when compared to SAP Mobility Platform? So SAP recently did the acquisition. Recently means one and a half years, 2 years back with Sybase. So they do also have this mobility platform. See, it becomes an apple-to-apple comparison. So they are one of our competitors. But I can tell you that in terms of Worklight, what are the key differentiating factors? One is we are the data shows that, okay, the SAP one, it takes a while for you to understand and to implement also that, and they also did acquisition in June, also another acquisition. The learning curve is longer, it's complex to implement. That's what our competitive analysis and that's what independent analyst data shows. The Worklight, in terms of Worklight, it's very it's a short learning curve. It's built on Eclipse, open source. Everybody knows that. It has got features like adapters. It's the same Java word, the JSON data manipulation, adapters. It provides you adapters for data access. You can create environments for the data reusability. So what I can see the difference between this SAP and the Worklight world is in terms of the learning curve and the complexity. Okay, Jyoti Kumar is asking, what is the language that we are going to use? Jyoti, my friend, the language for the user interface is going to be the JavaScript for the front-end part. Okay, if it's for a native, definitely you're going to use Objective-C or a Java, depending upon whether you're developing for iOS or Android. But if it's a hybrid, and if you're going to make use of this Cordova APIs or PhoneGap, the entire language is going to be JavaScript. So back to JavaScript days, Jyoti. So Gaurav is asking, what is the name of this automated defect traceability application? Gaurav, this application name is called IBM Rational CLM, Collaborative Lifecycle Management. So you can Google it out for CLM, IBM Rational CLM, or IBM Mobile Development Lifecycle Solution, IMDLS. IMDLS. So Jane is asking, Mr. Jane Patel, in Worklight tool, are we able to do a hybrid application considering all the platform? The answer is yes. We support this Windows 8. You can create environments, what we call. Right click and say new environment, it automatically creates. All your UI controls automatically gets created even for tablets, iOS, BlackBerry or Windows 8. So that most of your JavaScript, APIs and the code will be reused across the environment. So the answer is yes. See, Kaushal Shah is asking, does it work with Oracle mobile server? The answer is no, because it has got its own server called as a Worklight server. So which is part of the solution. It works with Worklight server. Yeah, see, Chetan Sharma has put a valid point. See, the challenge is being single source code. That's what we are trying to do. As I said, this particular Chetan Sharma is asking this question. See, market and the clients, many of his clients are demanding, there are many platforms. Why can't we have the source code in a centralized repository, in a single repository? That's what Chetan precisely this talks about. This has got a single source code management, okay, single build and release automation, centralized requirements management, wireframe sketching, test automation, and they're all linked, which gives you requirements, traceability and impact analysis also. Many of you people are asking for pricing details. You can get in touch with us or any IBM representatives for the pricing details. So there are some questions which I couldn't read. Okay, Tamarai Selvam is asking, what do you mean by agile planning? Agile planning is all about, okay, where you come up with product backlog, sprint backlog, release backlog, where you'll have the user story driven kind of project plan. So agile planning is nothing but it's a project plan, what I meant. Okay, so you have been talking about, so I think I answered most of your questions, everyone. I think I answered most of your questions. Okay, now major difference between PhoneGap and Worklight. This is one of the interesting questions that Alap Shah has raised. What's the difference between PhoneGap and Worklight? Why should I choose Worklight over PhoneGap? At the end of the day, Worklight makes use of PhoneGap underneath, correct? But the differentiating factor is, apart from letting you to use the PhoneGap APIs, it also provides you adapters. It also provides you environment creation. It also provides you testing tool as part of the Worklight itself. It provides you different form factor schemes. There are so many features that it offers, and it's a very lightweight. It's very easy to learn compared to SAP or any other solution. Mohini, I think I was able to answer most of the questions. So I don't think so any questions are left. Over to you, Mohini. And once again, everybody, on behalf of IBM, we thank all the participants who joined us today, considering that it's a Friday afternoon, and we appreciate your valuable time. Thanks for joining us today. And for any further information, you can reach us. I'm going to share my contact details here. I'm going to increase the font size here. Okay, so I know that, okay, this was only 1 hour. This is a very interesting space, the mobile computing. And if I couldn't take any one of your questions because there were so many questions, I apologize for that. So let us know your feedback and comments about this. Let's hope that we'll work together in future sessions. Thank you, Moini, and we also thank Times of India Group for giving us the opportunity to present this particular topic and IBM set of portfolio to TechGig participants and the audience. Over to you, Moini.
Well, thank you so much for answering all the questions, Raghu. I'm really thankful to you for conducting this insightful presentation as well. It was a great session. I would also like to thank all our participants for their support in making this webinar a success. The recording of this session would be available on techgig.com by evening. Thank you all. Have a great day.